I want to do a ranch update, but not today. Welcome to Grateful Hearts Ranch. Now, I was hesitant to do this video because there's so much information out there already, but I figured since I just found out about it, this might benefit you. So here we go. Now, for me, 2023 became a focus on improving my health, improving measurable metabolic markers, weight, blood labs, that sort of thing. Now, it didn't start out, why is this shaking? It didn't start out that way. But what I learned made it so. I call it a lifestyle versus a diet because it's a complete change in nutrition. Now, I started when I was 60 years old. I have gotten a little older now. I lost 50 pounds in about 5 months. The weight loss was nice, but I just, in general, just feel so much better. And I'll get into that in just a little bit. I have slides. Throughout my life, I ate the food pyramid standard American diet. I stayed away from all the things doctors told me not to eat or limited the bad things, but pretty much followed their advice. With the exception of my time in basic training for the military, I have always been overweight. Now, I tried several of the popular diets, but they pretty much had all the same results. I'd lose a little weight after I started the diet, and I'd gain back more when I went off the diet. Now, all the diets were variations on a calorie restriction diet, meaning just eat less. Now, there is a belief that calories in, calories out is the equation. The problem is a calorie isn't food, and the body isn't a closed loop machine. Some foods will cause inflammation to one person, but not to another. Some foods will spike insulin levels in one person, but not another. We're all different. The challenge is to find out what works for you. Now, I bought one of those fancy bathroom scales several years ago. It measures weight, but it also measures body fat and calculates BMI. And it told me I was obese. I thought, how rude. I never thought of myself as obese. I just thought I was like big boned or something. I don't know. Now, I was north of 300 pounds on a daily blood pressure lowering medication and cholesterol lowering medication, and I had taken those for years. Annual doctor visits were really just to refill those prescriptions and get fussed at by my doctor for hitting the upper limit or the upper end of the ideal range for sugar. But no matter what I did, I never got healthier as indicated by the blood labs. Now, as you know, Kathy and I are in the process of moving from the city out to the country. It's what this whole channel is about. So I watch a lot of videos from people that are living in the country to prepare, get ideas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, living out in the country kind of makes you a bit more self-reliant because you've just got access to fewer services, or those services are much further away. Bottom line, if you're living outside the city, you need to be healthy because you're going to be doing a lot more for yourself. And that was a concern of mine. Now, in April of 2023, at the recommendation of my YouTube friends, I started watching this doctor's channel talking about an ancestral appropriate proper human diet. I was like, oh, this is different. I caught a live stream and he was answering questions from different people. And so it got me interested in learning more. So I queued up a bunch of his videos, started watching them. I'd never heard, this information before. It was kind of interesting and it made logical sense to me. Now, when he said you can eat all the bacon you want, well, I don't really remember anything after that. I fried up a pound of bacon to test his theory, and it was tasty. So I started watching several of his videos about all kinds of health-related issues and discovered many of the things I had learned over the years about nutrition and health in general were at least from ignorance all the way to flat out lies and deceptions. So that kind of ticked me off a little bit. So I stepped on the scale at 307 in May of 23 at the age of 60. Okay, so what did I change? I eliminated sugar from my diet. I eliminated all grains, wheat, rice, oats, and corn. I eliminated vegetable seed oils, canola, corn, sunflower, soybean, peanut, All those are gone. I started eating ground meat, bacon, and eggs. A couple of times per week, I'll eat some tuna straight out of the can or add some sardines for the iodine. Now, I didn't eat sardines or tuna in the eggs or in the ground meat, but separately, but along with. There we go. Now, I eat until I'm comfortably stuffed, and I don't eat again until I'm hungry. That might be 4 hours. That might be 24 hours. Now, I'm not talking about eating a pinto bean and going, oh boy, I'm stuffed. No, no, no. You keep eating until you take a bite and you go, I really don't want any more. If it's tasting good, keep eating. When it stops tasting good, stop eating and don't eat again until you're hungry. There's no counting calories or weighing your food or anything like that. The meat and eggs keeps me satiated, i.e., not hungry longer. And so I don't even snack in between. Now, I made this change rather abruptly, so my gut bacteria protested. Yes, I'm talking frequent and explosive diarrhea. It only lasted a week, two tops. It's understandable. They were used to feasting on carbs, and I threw nothing but meat at them. I got a little angry about that. Now, you can avoid this if you transition over a month or so, but I was prepared to deal with the consequences. You've probably heard the names of several low-carb diets: Atkins, Mediterranean, keto, ketovore, carnivore, Lion. Just think of them all as low-carb diet with a volume knob that you can adjust. Now, keto was explained to me as covering half your plate with fatty red meat and the other half with some low-carb vegetables, maybe a pinch of nuts, and a few berries. Now, Lion is ruminant fatty red meat, salt, and water. So that's kind of your range there. You can adjust that volume control back and forth according to your body, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Okay. Now you might be thinking, well, you can't just eat meat and eggs. Well, it turns out you can. If you don't really have health issues and want to lose a little weight, you can go keto for 90 days. If you're a mess, go Lion for 90 days. Or ease into keto and then keep going toward Lion over 90 days. You don't have to stay at the same setting all the time, but you might. Everybody's different. Now, this is not a calorie restriction diet. You eat until you're comfortably stuffed. There's no counting carbs. There's no weighing food. It's an elimination diet, meaning you eliminate all the unhealthy things in your diet. You let your body get used to that, and then you can reintroduce foods back into your diet one at a time to see which ones cause you inflammation. And if it causes inflammation, you decide if you're going to deal with that inflammation or stay away from it. So what causes the weight loss? Oh, I must put my little banner up. I am not a medical professional, and I am not a nutritional professional. So you can just take this for, take this as just me talking to you. So carbs cause your body to retain water. So when you drastically reduce the carbs, you pee the excess water out. Now, when you pee, it's not just water that you eliminate. So you may want to supplement with some electrolytes, especially during the beginning, to avoid muscle cramps. And it's not just the ketogenic low carb diet. You get that with a vegan diet as well. Once you stop eating all those three things that I said to eliminate, you're going to lose water. You're going to lose electrolytes. So you may want to supplement those to avoid the cramps. Turn that off. We go to this slide. All right. So what's my typical day like? I'll start off with some eggs and some meat. Now, it might be brisket. It might be bacon. It might be ground meat from the night before. Meat and eggs for breakfast. Well, I might have a cup of coffee before then. But, most of the time, I don't eat lunch, and dinner is usually meat. I went to my local warehouse store, rhymes with ham, and I got some real butter from Ireland. So if I need to add a little more fat to the meal, real butter. Okay. Also, sleep is very important. Circadian rhythms and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm a night owl, and I like to stay up late. However, I was told it's better to go to bed earlier. So I have made an effort to go to bed earlier. Still a work in progress, but I do feel and function better after getting a good night's sleep. All right. Now, right before I started this, I hurt my knee. I had to have knee surgery, but the nutrition change had already begun. The weight came off pretty quickly. I had the knee surgery and then immediately started physical therapy. I still kept losing weight. Now, it started getting warm in Texas, like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And so the daily dog walks were also paused. And I couldn't really do that anyway because of, the knee. There was some recovery time. I wasn't walking. I was using crutches, so I couldn't really take the dogs walking. Now, temps lowered, obviously, and I can walk now pretty well. So the dogs are happy again. I had my last PT session right before Christmas. Well, hello there. I guess I need to mute this. I had my last PT session right before Christmas, so no restrictions now. Now, at some point, the weight loss kind of plateaued. I mean, for like a month or maybe 3, 5. I don't know. Now, you would have thought I'd be kind of upset by that, but my pants kept falling off. In other words, I was losing fat. My waist was getting smaller, but the scale stayed the same. And I within 3 to 5 pounds. And it's been just like, not a straight line, but because there are daily fluctuations, but it's been, within a range, a small range since November, I guess, or October, maybe late October. I don't know. Now, I was told that there is a healing process that takes place. I've been eating garbage for 60 years. It's going to take a little while to clean that out. I have to take a little vitamin P. Patience. I'm about ready for my quarterly lab tests to see how things are going. And I'm going to add a thyroid panel to that just in case. And I'll talk about resources here in just a minute. I check my blood labs, every 90 days. I didn't take a set right before I started. I wish I had, but I took, the first one was like about a month into it. So I'd already had some benefit. But A1C went from pre-diabetic down to normal. Fasting insulin was normal. Blood pressure has normalized. One by one, I stopped my daily medications. I had prearranged this with my doctor, didn't just self-unmedicate. So don't fuss at me. The other thing I noticed was a reduced need for the CPAP. I still use it, but if I happen to nap on the couch, I don't wake up with a sore throat from the snoring. So at some point, probably won't need it anymore. Not in a hurry. And I've noticed I don't have minor joint and general body aches like I used to. I just feel a ton better. So if you decide to embark on this journey, get your labs done before you start. You can talk to your doctor or order them from Own Your Labs. Let me get you here. 90 days is a good interval to recheck the labs. If you're worried about it, just do it once a year with your doctor if you're not. But if you're kind of a nerd and you want to check them, don't do it in a shorter time frame than 90 days. How about that? Now, if you want to know what labs to check, Dr. Barry has a book called Common Sense Labs. And it goes through and explains all the labs you can get, why you might want them. You don't need all of them, but I'll put a link in the description of this video. Weigh yourself, get a tape measure, record your measurements. I wouldn't check these more frequently than once a week. You don't need to weigh every day unless you can deal with the ups and downs because it's going to fluctuate from day to day. You don't need that extra stress. All right. So this is the first doctor that I was referred to on YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel. His name is Dr. Berry, Dr. Ken Berry. And I had heard people talking about him a couple of years ago, and whatever I typed into the search bar didn't find anything. And I heard someone mention him earlier this year again, and I finally found it this time. He's got hundreds of videos, and it covers hundreds of medical topics. If you have, any ailment or medical concern, go to YouTube, type in Ken Berry and whatever you're interested in, or just browse through his videos. And once you watch a few of his videos, then YouTube will start populating your homepage with other creators in this space. Dr. Sean Baker showed up in my feed and came up with the term carnivore for a meat-heavy lifestyle. He also has hundreds of videos covering many health-related topics and includes the research behind the topic. The last one I will mention is Dr. Anthony Chafee. He's another medical doctor covering similar topics, has hundreds of videos, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you need to relax, watch this guy because he's extremely chill. Now, he does get passionate about certain things, but for the most part, well, I'll just watch his videos and I'm like, oh yeah, this is very calming. It's very nice, So I highly recommend checking out those channels if you want more information about all this. Now, there are some coaching channels if you need someone to talk to, bounce questions off of. There are recipe and cooking channels that will give you additional meal ideas, ideas to help you kind of fight off the boredom if that's your thing. I'll have a link in the description to a playlist with videos I started with, so check that out. I'll also put links to some vendors that you might be interested in. Now, they aren't all affiliate links. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But I use these things and approve them. And if they are affiliate links, well then, thanks for shopping with them. All right. Now, I'm less than halfway through this journey. It's been the best discovery health-wise in my life and for me. It's extremely easy to follow. Even I can do it. Let me know if you'd like more information about it, like quarterly updates about the progress. Otherwise, I'll just eat meat and get healthier. Now, I can't talk about certain things since I can't talk about certain things since I am not a medical or nutritional professional, but I'll try. Also, if you have just started this and you're looking into it, or you're just looking into it, comment below. I'd like to know what's working for you. Finally, if you think someone could benefit from this information, please share it with them. If you're on the fence, just do some research. It might change your life. It certainly has mine. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell.